What happens when American muscle's most iconic rivalry doesn't end in a showdown, but in a handshake? When Dodge's raw, untamed aggression meets Ford's blue-collar grit, you get something that shouldn't exist, yet here it is, staring us down with 4 menacing headlights and a split personality that's equal parts Hellcat snarl and Raptor roar. This is a vehicle that makes purists reach for their pitchforks and dreamers reach for their wallets. Welcome to the most controversial, most exhilarating automotive fantasy we've ever covered. This is a Dodge Ford beast that rewrites the rulebook. Let's rewind for a moment, because to understand why this mashup hits different, you need to understand the blood feud that's defined American performance for decades. Dodge and Ford haven't just competed. They've gone to war. From the muscle car golden age of the 60s and 70s, through the truck wars that turned suburban driveways into battlegrounds, these brands have represented fundamentally different philosophies. Dodge was always the wild card, the brand that said horsepower is the only number that matters, the company that strapped superchargers to family sedans just because they could. Ford, meanwhile, built an empire on accessibility and capability, creating vehicles that could haul your work equipment on Monday and set lap records on Sunday. The Challenger versus the Mustang, the Ram TRX versus the F-150 Raptor. These weren't just product comparisons. They were cultural statements. And now, in this parallel universe we're exploring, someone hit the merge button. So let's walk around this absolute unit and decode the design language, because every curve, every vent, every aggressive angle tells part of this fusion story. The front fascia is where the identity crisis becomes beautifully, gloriously apparent. Those circular LED headlights are pure Dodge DNA, channeling the retro-modern aesthetic that made the Challenger design icon, but they're arranged in a quad formation that creates a face with more attitude than any single brand could muster alone. The grille wears the Dodge badge front and center, blacked out and defiant, sitting above a lower intake that's been widened and reinforced to suggest this thing breathes differently than anything in either showroom. And then there are the stripes. Oh, those stripes. Racing red slicing through matte gunmetal gray, running from the hood scoop over the roof, and presumably all the way to the tailgate. These aren't subtle accent lines. They're a declaration of intent. This vehicle doesn't sneak up on anyone. That hood is a landscape of aggression all by itself. The functional hood scoop suggests force induction lurking beneath, probably a supercharger whining away, waiting to unleash hell on unsuspecting rear tires. The power bulge, the heat extractors, the way the bodywork seems tense like a coiled spring, all communicates that this isn't some appearance package. This is functional fury. Moving down the side profile, we see the marriage of 2 distinct body philosophies. The cab is clearly truck-derived, with that F-150 crew cab footprint providing for real doors and legitimate interior space, but the proportions have been massaged, lowered slightly, given a more aggressive rake that makes it look like it's attacking the pavement even while standing still. The fender flares deserve their own paragraph, because they're absurdly, wonderfully over the top. These aren't the subtle plastic extensions you get on a base model off-roader. These are full-on TRX-inspired fender bulges that add inches of width and communicate that underneath there's rubber that could double as small tractor tires. Speaking of which, the wheel and tire package is purely sinister. Blacked-out multi-spoke wheels wrapped in aggressive all-terrain rubber with lettering on the sidewalls, creating that perfect balance between pavement domination and dirt road capability. The suspension sits just high enough to clear serious obstacles, but low enough to suggest this thing can absolutely carve canyons when the mood strikes. The bed, visible in the rear section, is pure utilitarian Ford practicality, but it's been shortened and integrated in a way that maintains the aggressive sports truck proportion rather than looking like a work vehicle. This isn't about hauling drywall. This is about hauling your dreams of automotive anarchy to the track, the trail, or just the local cars and coffee, where we'll absolutely steal the show. Now let's talk about what we can't see but absolutely must imagine, because the interior of this beast would be where the culture clash becomes a feature, not a bug. Picture sliding into a cabin that wraps Dodge's performance-oriented cockpit design around Ford's truck-tough functionality. You have deeply bolstered sports seats upholstered in a combination of leather and ballistic-grade fabric, with those same red accent stripes continuing through the stitching and across the dashboard. The steering wheel would be thick-rimmed, flat-bottomed, perforated leather with integrated paddle shifters, because even though this is a truck, It's a performance truck first. The instrument cluster will be a massive digital display, probably pulling the best elements from both Uconnect and sync systems, showing you everything from boost pressure to approach angles to lap times to towing capacity. Because why choose? Under the hood, the only engine that makes sense for this mashup is something absolutely unreasonable. We're imagining a supercharged V8, probably displacing somewhere north of 6 liters, conservatively making somewhere around 700 horsepower, made into a 10-speed automatic that can shift like a performance transmission, but also tow like a truck gearbox. The 4-wheel drive system will be full-time and fully active, capable of sending power wherever it's needed, whether you're launching from a dig or scrambling up a rock face. Adaptive suspension would let you switch between street performance, track attack, and off-road modes with simple dial, transforming the personality of the entire vehicle on demand. Of course, this monster wouldn't exist in a vacuum. If this Dodge Ford Fusion hit the streets, it would be entering an arena that's gotten increasingly crowded with high-performance trucks and sport utilities. The Ram TRX currently holds the horsepower crown in the production truck world. The Ford F-150 Raptor are brought supercharged V8 Fury to the off-road truck segment. Chevrolet's doing interesting things with the Silverado ZR2. Even Toyota's Tundra TRD Pro is pushing boundaries. But none of them have this mashup split personality, this unique combination of track-ready performance and trail-rated capability wrapped in a design that looks like an escape from a video game. The cultural impact of a vehicle like this would extend far beyond quarterly sales figures. It would represent a ceasefire in America's longest-running automotive rivalry, a recognition that maybe the real enemy isn't each other but mediocrity itself. It would spark 1,000 internet arguments and probably inspire a new generation of custom builds and aftermarket mashups. And most importantly, it would be an absolute riot to drive, combining the tire-shredding hooliganism of Dodge's performance division with the go-anywhere confidence of Ford's off-road engineering. So here we stand, facing down this mechanical unicorn, this contradiction on wheels, this beautiful disaster that proves sometimes the best answer to which one is yes, both. It doesn't exist in dealerships, but it exists here in pixels and imagination, reminding us why we fell in love with cars in the first place. Not because they're practical or sensible, but because they make us feel something. This Dodge Ford mashup makes us feel everything all at once, and that's exactly what great automotive design should do. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started exploring the vehicles that could be, should be, and in some parallel universe. Definitely are. This is AutoVise, where the impossible meets the pavement.